the departure of Saint Euphrasia, the Virgin. On this day, the blessed Saint Euphrasia, the Virgin, departed. She was the daughter of a noble family in the city of Rome, who was related to Emperor Honorius. Before her father's departure, he asked the emperor to care for her. Her mother went to Egypt, and to collect the revenues and rent of her estates and orchards, which her husband had left her. She took her daughter, who was 9 years of age, with her, and they lodged in one of the houses of virgins. The nuns of that convent were on high degree of asceticism, piety, and devoutness. They never ate food with meat, oil, fruits, at no time drank wine, and slept on the floor. Eupraxia loved the life that convent, and she was pleased with the nun that served her. The nun told her, "Promise me that you will not leave this convent." She promised her that. When her mother finished her work and she came to achieve, her daughter refused to return with her, and she said to her mother, "I have fought myself to Christ, and have no need for this world, for my true bridegroom is the Lord Christ." When her mother knew that, she gave all her money and goods to the poor and needy, and she lived with her daughter in the convent for many years. They departed in peace. When Emperor Honorius heard that, he sent asking for her. She answered back, saying that she had vowed herself to the Lord Christ, and she can now break her convent. The emperor marveled at her wisdom and righteousness, and allowed her to stay. Eupraxia contended strenuously in the ascetic life. She fasted 2 days at a time, then three, then four, and afterwards she fasted for a week at a time. During the Holy Land she did not eat anything which was cooked. Satan was jealous of her, and he smote her with an illness in her feet, gave her pain for a long time, until God had compassion on her and healed her. God granted her the gift of healing the sick, and she was beloved by all the sisters in the base of her humility and obedience to them. One night the abbess saw in a vision crowns which has been prepared, and she asked, "Who are these for?" She was told, "These crowns for your daughter Euphrasia. She will be coming to us after a short while." The abbess told the nuns of the vision which he had seen, and commanded them not to tell Eupraxia about it. When her time came to depart of this world, she fell sick of a slight fever. The abbess and the nuns gathered around Saint Eupraxia and asked her to remember them before the divine throne, and then she departed in peace. The right after her departure, her friend departed, and shortly after the abbess fell sick, so she gathered the nuns and told him, "Choose whom will be a bishop over you, for I am going to the Lord." When they came on the following morning to visit her, they found that she had departed. May their prayers be with us. Amen. On this day also, the Church commemorates the departure of Pope Peter VI, the 104th Patriarch, in the year 14402 1442 AM. This presbyter, a spiritual angel, was the son of pure as Christian parents from the city of Agios. They raised him well, educated him with ecclesiastic subjects and manners, and excelled in them. His name was Morgan, but later on he became known by the name Peter el Asciti. The grace of God was on him since his young age, and when he came to the age of maturity, he forsook the world and what in it, and longed to the monastic life. He went to the monastery of the great Saint Antonius in the month of El Araba. He dwelt there, became a monk, and put the monastic garb. He exerted he exerted himself in worship, and when he and when he achieved ascetic life, purity and righteousness and humility, these fathers, the monks chose him to be a priest. They took him against his will to Cairo, and he was ordained a priest for the monastery of the great Saint Anba Paula the first hermit, among others, by the hand of Pope Ioannis El Turki, in the Church of the Lady the Virgin in Hara el Rum. He increased in virtues and he became well known among the people. When Pope Ioannis the above mentioned departed, the chair became vacant after him for 2 months and 6 days. They went on looking for whom was fit for this honorable rank, so they chose some priests and monks. They wrote their names on pieces of paper, placed them over the altar, and celebrated the divine liturgy. On the third day, after asking and supplicating God to raise the one he chooses, the Lord fell on his father, so they realized that he was the chosen one by God. He was ordained Patriarch of the See of St. Mark on the Sunday, the 17th of Misra, 1434 a.m. at the Church of St. Mercurius in Old Cairo. It was a great joy for its enthronement, which was attended by the Christian Mass, foreign dignitaries, Catholics, Greeks, Armenians, and the military. Afterwards, Pope Peter went to visit the cities of Lower Egypt, visited the churches, and at the end he arrived to Alexandria to visit the church of Saint Mark the Evangelist in the 11th of Baramuda year 1438 a.m. He kissed the pure, holy head of Saint Mark, and he did extensive renovative inside the church. When he was about to return, he was informed that a group in Alexandria planning to steal the holy head, so he hid it in the monastery since that time. Then he gave a lamp made of silver as a gift and lit it over the tomb of the evangelist, and he encircled it by a partition with window looking inside. He went to Lower and Upper Egypt, and the people of Egypt rejoiced. During the days of his father, a group of priests and deacons came, delegated by the Emperor of Ethiopia, with extravagant gifts and a letter from the Emperor asking for Metropolitan. He deliberated the subject with Mr. Lotala Abu Yusuf, a prominent notable of Cairo and others, and they all agreed on the honorable Father Christosolo, Bishop of Jerusalem. He was a blessed father and honorable teacher, so Pope Peter ordained him a metropolitan and called him Christosolo the third. They went with his name to Ethiopia, have been joyful, and he cared from that parish from 1720 to 1742 AD. Pope Peter ordained Athanasius bishop for Jerusalem. During the papacy during the papacy of this pope, many churches were built and consecrated with blessed head. Among those churches, the Church of Saint Mary on the Nile in the district of El Mahdi, the Church of Michael the Archangel in Babylon, and the Church of Mina the Wonder Worker in Fum el Khali, Cairo. The last two churches were built by the noble and charitable Mr. Lord Fala Abu Yusuf by his private funds. Also, he built the Church of the Apostles in the monastery of Saint Antonius, and also assumed and paid the cost of the enthronement festivals of the Patriarch. The day the days of this pope were peaceful and tranquil, and he worked on implementing the church canons, especially he stopped the divorce for whatever the reason. For that purpose, he went to Governor Ibn Iwas and discussed the subject with the Muslim scholars, so they gave him a formal legal opinion and a decree that no divorce only apply to the Christians and no one can object him from that in courts. He ordered the priest not to wed except in his presence. That was because a man who was the son of a priest protested against him. The man had divorced his wife and married another without the Patriarch's knowledge in the church. He ordered them to come before him so he might dissolve the illegal marriage, but the men refused and did not come. The priest communicated the man, his wife, and his father the priest, for he had married them. This man died after several illness in his month, and his father the priest went to the Pope and asked for his forgiveness. The Pope absolved him, and shortly after he died. The Pope shredded the floor of grass with the base of care, and he completed his drive. He fell sick on the third sickness and departed on 26th of Paramhat, year 1442 AM in the Holy Land. His body was placed in the tomb of the Patriarch in the Church of St. Mercurius in Old Cairo. He remained on the chair for 7 years, 7 months, and 11 days. He was charitable, generous, and merciful to his people as his predecessor. Pope, Pope Peter LRCT was approximately 46 years old, and he was a contemporary of Sultan Ahmed III the Ottoman. The chair remained vacant for 9 months and 11 days after him. The year this pope departed, there was an outbreak of plague in the land, along with several deaths. Many bishops and priests departed, and death befell to the people from Alexandria to Aswan. May the Lord have mercy on his people and benefit us with the prayers and blessing of Pope Peter LRCT, and glory be to God forever. Amen.